What's up, YouTube? It's here! The GWF-A1000 new 2020 G-Shock analog Frogman, the first of its kind. I'm happy to have it, but also very disappointed. Let's find out why. Let's go! Alright guys, finally got it. I'm so excited. I waited a little bit to get this puppy because I wasn't thrilled about what G-Shock did to me. So let's talk about that. We're going to do a quick overview of the GWF-A1000 Frogman, the first ever analog G-Shock Frogman of its kind from Casio. But did they get it right? I don't know. You tell me. I'm going to do a comparison of this watch, talk about its functions, and then compare it to the old, or I should say new, GWF-D1000 series Frogman, and see where I think they steered the wrong way with the changes in this Frogman. And then we'll talk about why I think they did it, and maybe I could talk about the good things and the bad things about both of them. All right, let's get started. So here we have it. The GWF-A1000-184. Now this personally I think is the best color, the best color of the series. There's three different color variations so far. There's a black, a blue, and a red. Very nice colors, but personally this is the one I think is the go-to on this one. Module 5623 with the $800 retail price on this puppy. Now let's talk about what they got right first. Gorgeous colorway, very vibrant, the color. Look at this red, bloodshot red colorway. They nailed it with this one, guys. The only color I remember looking like this was the RD, the red color, GWF-1000 RD, which is also red. And then you had the, what color was that? There was a 35th anniversary color series. They had the bloodshot red, which is awesome. I think they nailed it. All right. Again, this is the first analog of its kind. And let's look at some of these gorgeous details. You got the Frogman in red there. Got the metal bezel around the edges. The crown with the nice grip on there for, of course, diving purposes. Okay. Then you have the battery indicator there, tide information there, day of the week, and you have your daylight savings time and so forth there, alarm, timer, stopwatch, which is kind of cool because this reminds me so much of the Mr. G's or MRG I just reviewed last. Kind of resembles a lot of that functionality here. You got the date window there, you got the mode window there. This kind of looks like the 24-hour window format there. AM, PM, that doesn't have that on the MRG, but it's very similar in terms of analog design with the G-Shock. And they get the 24-hour format there, window, very similar. All right, now, again, this watch, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And I don't know, I just think that they got it wrong. Okay, now they did go with the resin band keeper here. They got the metal buckle, the satin brush metal buckle there. And then new is the carbon core guard design. So once again, and now when I do the comparison, I'll talk about it. They steered away from the screw back and they went with this carbon core guard. Now what that does is that it gives it a extra strength design and also a lightweight design when it comes to this watch. Now, this one comes in weighing at 119 grams, which is a feather compared to the old GWF-D Frogman. All right. This watch does have a dive mode. It has beautiful neo bright luminescent hands. So let me see if I can show you that really quick. There you go. Look at that. Ooh-wee. Oh, yeah. Let's check out the light. I don't know how to push it. Where's the light button? There it is. There we go. Nice LED light there. Gorgeous. And I will do a macro look of this watch because just kind of capture the details. I don't want to steal away any of the thunder from the GWF-D, but again, when I do the comparison, you'll see what I mean with the drawbacks of this watch. Tough Solar Multiband 6. Okay, this was released in June of 2020, by the way. It's solar powered. It does have sapphire crystal. All right, and like I said, the carbon core guard on there. And they added Bluetooth technology, which is pretty cool. I give it to them. Bluetooth, I love. It's so much easier to set up the watches with Bluetooth compared to those that are not Bluetooth. Okay. Now let me show you guys the macro so you guys get a really close-up look of this watch and how gorgeous it really looks in person. And before we do that, don't forget to keep on watching to the end so I can do a comparison of this one and a GWF-D, and you'll see what I mean with did they go wrong, right? Let's start with the macro shot. Let's go. Now tell me, ain't she beautiful? It's hard to deny how gorgeous this watch really is. And it looks really good in person, guys. Now, what they did wrong. Now, let me tell you what I think they did wrong in terms of these two watches. Now, this is the old last rendition or last edition of the G-Shock Frogman. This one was released in 2016, and this one was released in 2020. So this is the new one they came out with. And you can see the obvious change is that they went from digital to analog. Now, this is the first time they've done that. For example, here's the GF-A1000. Also an old model, vintage model now, discontinued. Also in digital. So this is the first time they do this. It's the first time they go from digital over to analog. So with that, they made some changes. Now the GWF-D has a lot going for itself. It's got the triple sensors. It's got the water depth meter, compass, thermometer, moon, and tide information on the screen. It's also solar powered. Both of these are solar powered. Both have atomic and both have sapphire crystal. The GWF-A does have non-reflective coating though. That helps it tremendously. But the Frogman on the right, the GWF-D, the triple sensor is what I think sets it apart. The one on the left here doesn't have all that. All it has is tide information and dive mode measurement. So you could measure how long you've been underwater. But I think that the other features that the GWF-D have are also just as important. The water depth is included in there, but you also have a compass, a thermometer, moon, and tide information. This one just has tide. All right, so that's all that I think just makes this much better of a watch. All right, sure, this one has Bluetooth. This one doesn't, but don't really think you need it in terms of what you're going to be using it for. Think about it. You're going to be using the watch near water, right? In the water or under the water. You're not going to connect it to a phone very often when it comes to Frogman. So why do you need Bluetooth? Sure, you're going to use it, right? Most people, like myself, don't really go diving very much or at all. So I don't think I really need to have a watch that has to be connected to Bluetooth or doesn't have to be connected to Bluetooth. Either way works for me, right? But the Frogman, if it's intended for divers, then why do you need Bluetooth? I don't think that's kind of a selling point, okay? Now, the carbon fiber band on this one as well that the GWF-D has, look at this. It's just beautiful, all right? And this is another aspect that the GWF-A lacks. It doesn't have this beautiful carbon fiber inlay inside its resin band, okay? Now, in terms of size, I'll show you on the screen a comparison. The one on the left, it's slightly smaller, coming in at 56.7 instead of the 59.2. This is the largest of its kind from Casio's Frogman line. Much bigger, much larger. So yeah, if you want something smaller, then the GWF-A will be your thing. You're probably the best one for you. In terms of it's 53.3, same as this one, and 19.7 on the analog versus 18 millimeters on the GWF-D digital. Okay. Now again, this one has a battery indicator, so it tells you when the battery is low, and this one has an analog battery indicator. Which one you prefer? It's completely up to you. Okay. Now the one on the right weighs 141 grams compared to that analog, which is 119 grams. Now that's quite the difference, and you could tell when you hold it in your hand that this one is much heavier. And why is the case? Well, not only does it have more sensors which add to the weight, it's also got this gorgeous screw back on the back, right? Which is all metal or stainless steel, I should say, which makes it much heavier. What's better? I don't know, you tell me. The carbon core guard is known to be lighter, stronger, and probably more resistant than that of the Frogman. But there's some nostalgia involved with the Frogmans that have the screw back. Back to the original 5000 series DW5600 or DW5000 G-Shock, it was a screw back. That's where the G-Shocks originated. So now you're moving away from that and you kind of develop. I understand you have to advance your technology and make the watches better, right? Because you see, all right, make the watches better. But I don't know, I think Frogmans and the screw bags just give it something. It makes the watch feel much more genuine. It makes it feel much better, in my opinion, compared to that of the carbon core guard. All right, so the Frogman on the right was retailed at $1,050. Of course, yes, it's much expensive. It's about $200 more than the analog, which is retailing at $800, but you're getting a lot more for your buck, right? You have all those sensors, carbon fiber, you have the screw back, So compare that to this one. I think it's, I don't know, I think the $200 is much worth it. Will you be using all those sensors? I don't know. Some people do. I know I don't, but it's nice to have it in case of emergency, right? What emergency? You just never know. So why did G-Shock go move away to the analog frog? Why did they move away from their well-known line of digital frogmans? Well, one reason I believe is because that's the gold standard for divers watches. If you look around, do a search on Google, all or a large percent, I hate using the word all, but a large percentage of frogmans or diver watches are analog watches. So for G-Shock to come out and go from a digital to analog, I think they're just going with the industry standard. Now, I don't know. I'm not a diver, so I can't tell you how legible or how easy it is to read a digital watch compared to that of an analog. But I think the luminescent hands and all that does help when you go and dive into the water. Now, you got to remember, though, luminescent hands don't last forever. Now, that does wear out with time, and it's only bright during a certain amount of time. So the deeper you go into the water, it's gonna work. Yes, it's gonna light up, but after a certain time, it's gonna die down because it hasn't been exposed to light. So I don't know. Is it worth it? You tell me. What do you guys think? Is G-Shock making a mistake when it comes to their new analog frogman? Or should they stay with the digital frogmans and continue their legacy as a digital diver's watch? I love them both, but personally, I'd go with the digital one. Sorry, analog, you're a nice watch and gorgeous, but this one right here, I think just is better, more watch for the money, and a lot more details. And just personally, I think it's much better. There you guys have it. Thanks for watching, guys. Please comment below. Tell me what you think. Which one do you choose? Do you think the extra $200 is worth it? Or do you think that Casio did the right thing by going analog? Any divers out there that are looking for a frogman, what do you think? Does this change your mind? Did you ever consider buying a frogman from Casio but didn't because it's digital? Did that deter you? And does this entice you to start using Casios? I don't know. Market research might say one thing or another, but personally, I'm not sure what they did, why they did it. All right, guys. Till next time, this is Chicago. Holla at your boys. I'm out of here. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. A lot of content here, G-Shock related and watch related. And hit that like button. I truly appreciate it. It motivates me and it helps me when it comes to YouTube algorithms to push my videos out there and get more views. All right, till next time, I'm out of here, guys. Holla at your boy. Peace.
My G-Shock, I'm rocking 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 my G-Shock.